So you're thinking about moving to Sarasota, Florida. You want to know what's great about living here, and more importantly, what's not so great.
We have got you covered. We're going to talk about some of the challenges about living in Sarasota so that you can decide if living with those negatives makes the positives all worth it.
And ultimately, whether this Sarasota lifestyle is right for you. The first pro that comes to mind when thinking about living in Sarasota is this beautiful weather. Our subtropical climate gives us an abundance of mild winter days like this and slightly warmer, sunny days in the summer.
It is so true. We are filming this in the beginning of February, literally the middle of winter, and we are sitting outside while most of the country, including my hometown, is covered in snow and really cold.
Yeah. In fact, we average 250 days of sunshine every single year. So we have an abundance of opportunity to be outside, soaking in the rays, and taking in all the wonderful activities outdoors that Sarasota has to offer.
Speaking of beautiful surroundings, number 2 on our pros list of living in Sarasota is all the natural beauty around you.
That's right, and obviously our beaches are what really put us on the map. I mean, Siesta Key, of course, has national attention, being constantly ranked the top, if not one of the top beaches in the whole country. But there's an assortment of different beaches on our coast, and a lot of locals actually prefer alternative beaches to Siesta because they're either less trafficked or provide different characteristics. The beautiful part is all of our beaches look out over the crystal clear turquoise water, and they all face west, which means the sunsets are absolutely stunning. That's why they say the West Coast is the best coast.
They do. In addition to our gorgeous beaches, we have so many other landscapes. We have rivers, we have lakes, we have lagoons, we have the mangroves that you can kayak through. There are so many different places to enjoy. And speaking of that, because of all of our different ecosystems, we have an abundance of wildlife. You probably hear the birds that I'm stressing out or messing up our video, right? But there are so many different types of birds. There are the Florida bobcats, the wildcats, the gators, right? Remember our family date night? We saw that little baby gator right over there?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so much to see and enjoy right here in Sarasota, Florida.
Yeah, and the county does a fantastic job of highlighting and providing access to these natural resources. So whether it's public parks or preserves or waterfront experiences or nature trails, I mean, there's just no shortage of opportunities to go and experience the gorgeous nature around us.
And that leads us to pro number 3 on our list is that Sarasota has so many outdoor activities.
That's right. The beach comes up here again, of course. Siesta Key Beach is famous for its powdery white sand, which is actually 99% quartz. Why do we care? It means that the sand stays cool year round. Even on our hottest summer days, you can walk barefoot on the beach and not have an issue. So it opens you up to an abundance of beach activities, whether you're just taking a stroll, watching the sunset, sunbathing, reading your favorite book, playing volleyball, scuba diving, snorkeling, all that stuff. You have an ideal place to do that.
Also boating of all kinds, from kayaking through the mangroves to offshore power boating. We really have everything.
Yeah, and this is a fisherman's paradise, right? From inshore fishing in our rivers, lakes, even the little ponds in neighborhoods, to offshore fishing and way out off the coast where you can't see land for miles, but the big guys live out there, and you bring home a catch that feeds your family for a week and fills your freezer.
But you've done that several times.
Oh yeah, me and my son have a great time getting offshore. But no boat, no problem, because there are piers everywhere that welcome fishing. You have a rod and a reel and you got some time on your hands, go out and drop a line and see what happens.
If fishing isn't your sport and you are into golf, we have you covered. There are over 30 courses here in Sarasota, Florida, and it's any skill level. They range from beginner public courses all the way through championship and private golf courses. So if you are looking to golf, like I said, in the middle of winter, we are your spot to be.
Yeah, that's right. And Sarasota also has incredible local state parks, trails. If you're into hiking, bird watching, horseback riding, we've got you covered.
So we have covered all the outdoor activities, and that leads us to our number 4 favorite thing about Sarasota, the thriving arts scene.
That's right. You cannot overstate the sheer volume of arts and cultural activities that this area has to offer. We've got the Ringling Museum of Art with such a wide collection, ranging from European paintings, modern art, as well as a huge feature on Sarasota's circus history.
We love that. One of my favorite things here is the Van Wezel Performing Arts Center, which hosts things from Broadway shows all the way to classical concerts.
You've got Sarasota Ballet, Sarasota Opera, the Black Theater Troupe, Oslo. I mean, so many options.
Absolutely. Plus our annual Sarasota Film Fest. So many art galleries, music festivals, art festivals. You can live in Sarasota a very long time and still not see and go to every single event.
Yeah, we're still working. What's your favorite, Tony?
Ooh, I have to say Van Wezel, and I'm really excited we're going to see Hamilton next month.
Yes, we've seen it many times. We haven't seen it here in Sarasota, and so we're very excited to see that show.
Yeah, Van Wezel's my favorite.
Okay, so for a mid-sized city, Sarasota really punches above its weight class in terms of activities. But I want to talk about pro number 5, which is Sarasota's proximity to larger cities.
Absolutely. If you can't find what you're looking for in Sarasota, odds are a short day trip away and you can get what you need. Tampa's an hour away, Orlando is 2 hours away, and Miami's a short 3.5-hour drive across the state.
Yeah, so if you want to take your kids or your grandkids to an amusement park, you've got Busch Gardens in Tampa, a quick hour, like you said, or of course the theme park mecca in Orlando, Disney, Universal Studios, SeaWorld, and a bunch more, just with no traffic, 1:45, and on a bad day, maybe 2.5 hours.
Not too bad at all. Here's the thing, if a big city isn't your thing and you want to go smaller than Sarasota, there are so many adorable, cute, picturesque towns that are only a short drive away. So if you want to go antiquing, looking at some small towns and that vibe, you can easily get to it.
Pro number 6 is our healthcare system. Sarasota features a range of top-rated hospitals, clinics, and specialized healthcare facilities. Sarasota Memorial Hospital is highly regarded for its comprehensive service, state-of-the-art technology, and skilled healthcare professionals. It consistently ranks among the top hospitals in the state and the nation for various specialties, including cardiology, oncology, and orthopedics.
Sarasota's healthcare system is also bolstered by a number of smaller hospitals and a ton of private practices. This ensures that our residents can get the best care for their specialized needs as well as any health issue that may come up.
Yeah, Sarasota overall is just a fantastic place for people to live who prioritize health and wellness.
The last pro on our list is the fact that Florida has no state income tax.
That's right. This is one of my favorites, right? I mean, who wants to pay taxes? You know, the fact that we have such a bustling tourism industry to our beaches and, of course, our theme parks, the state brings in a ton of revenue that way and rewards its residents by not charging them, a 10, 12% of their income toward the state tax. It's why Florida is consistently ranked one of the best places to retire, especially for people on a fixed income where they literally just have double-digit percentage more to spend on the wonderful things around us that are just a lot more fun than paying taxes. Next, we're going to take a look at some of the challenges that come with living in Sarasota. But first, I wanted to mention that Tony and I are realtors here.
Absolutely. We own Sarasota's top real estate team, and if you're thinking about making a move to Sarasota, we would love to help you with that.
That's right. So whether you move in next week, next month, or next year, we're here to help. Give us a call. You can email, call, or text us anytime, and our contact info is in the description.
Absolutely. And please make sure to like this page and click the bell for the notifications so you'll be the first to know when we publish new content.
Okay, are we ready to dish some dirt? Here's our list of things that people don't love so much about living in Sarasota.
The first con is the traffic. The byproduct of everybody wanting to be here is that everybody's here, and traffic can be a little bit tricky, especially in our busy seasons.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, traffic's all relative, and it depends on where you came from and what you're used to. But for those of us that are here year-round, we really have 2 seasons, right? We've got the gorgeous winter when, yes, everyone's here and you have to expect and plan for more traffic. And then you have the hotter summer when there's fewer people here, and generally the trade-off there is you can get into restaurants easy and get around town with a lot less pre-planned time.
That is really true. So people ask us all the time, how do you deal with traffic when it's busy here, right? A couple of things. You plan for it. You know that it's going to be there. Google Maps will become your friend. And you find a great radio station, podcast, Audible. You figure out a way to make that traffic enjoyable.
That's right. So we listed weather as the first pro of living here, but the heat and humidity of Sarasota's summers is where we pay back for those mild winters that we enjoy so much every year. You've heard of people in, say, the Southwest talk about a really high temperature like 102, and they say, oh, but it's a dry heat. It's a dry heat. Well, we don't quite get to 102. We might max out in the 90s during the summer, but it's a wet and sticky heat here in Sarasota.
So it's not so fun when you're heading to your car in the morning and you are already sweating just walking out there and buckling your seatbelt. Also, my hair doesn't like the humidity. It's not fun for anybody.
You still make it look great.
Oh, thank you so much.
Right.
How do you cope with the heat?
I mean, it's the same way other people deal with freezing cold winter temperatures. You stay inside during winter. We generally stay inside for the hottest part of the day during the summer. But and the AC's pumping, right? The AC's pumping at all hours during that season. But still, my favorite thing is you have gorgeous sunsets. You can take an evening stroll. You can get outside. You just stick to the beginning and end of the day.
Continuing on the weather theme, another thing people don't love about Sarasota is the summer thunderstorms. In July, August, September, you can count on a rain and thunderstorm almost every afternoon.
You sure can, and they're usually predictable around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The good news is they're generally short. It's pretty rare that it rains all day. So as long as you plan for a potential disruption in that time period, you could plan your activities in the morning and the late afternoon into the evening.
So the next con on our list, and we're still talking about weather, is hurricanes. But the thing is, a lot of people don't understand hurricanes. And here's the thing, regardless of where you live, there's a lot of different weather phenomenons. There's blizzards, tornadoes, earthquakes, right?
Yeah, that's right. And the nice thing about hurricanes, if there is one, even though they're very dangerous, is they have a feature that makes it somewhat easy to mitigate that risk. And that is hurricanes are slow. There's a joke that being in the path of a hurricane kind of feels like being stalked by a turtle.
That is so accurate. The thing is, you have time to prepare for a hurricane, right? You can make a decision on whether you're going to stay or whether you're going to go. And we know when it's coming, we know where it's been. We really do have the time to plan for it. We've done both. We've gone and left, and we've stayed and ridden it out. So hurricanes are a part of living in Florida, but when you can plan for it, should be good.
Can we stop talking about the weather now?
Please.
Oh, good. Okay. So in pro number 2, we talked about our beautiful and exotic wildlife. But the reality is there's also some wildlife here that some of us are not so fond of. So con number 5 is some annoying and sometimes scary wildlife.
Let's start with the annoying one. Number 1 on the annoying list for me is mosquitoes. When you move here to Florida, you may think mosquitoes are our, national bird or something like that. Couple tips for mosquitoes. Sarasota really does a good job of trying to mitigate the mosquito population, but they are here. So a couple of tips. Stay inside, mornings and evenings is when they're out. Also, keep standing water out of your yard. Mosquitoes really like standing water, and it's one of the reasons we are so obsessed with pool cages. That way you can open your house up, be out in your pool, you don't even have to worry about them.
And if you don't like mosquito bites, you're going to want to stay away from another one of our very annoying critters, the fire ant. These little buggers are mean and aggressive, and if you accidentally step on one of their mounds, it can cause you some problems. The good news is there's lawn treatments that can knock them out and take them away on your property, but when you're out and about in nature, you're just going to want to watch out for their distinctive mounds.
I stepped in one putting out an open house sign. My foot was not happy for days, but I'm okay. So let's talk about the scary wildlife. It's at the top of everyone's list. Do we have alligators here in Sarasota? Yes, we do. But what we have learned really is that yes, there are alligators around here, but if you don't bother them, they won't bother you. They're much more afraid of us than we are of them. So if you keep your distance, stay away from them, you won't have a problem.
Yeah, you once in a while see them on the bank of a pond or a lake, but in reality, living here, our life is zero impacted by alligators. Yeah, and along those same lines, Sarasota County is home to quite a few varieties of creepy crawly snakes. I'm not a huge fan. We do have 4 venomous varieties, but the key to a happy coexistence, just like with the alligators, is just keep your distance, right? Snakes are more scared of us than we are of them, and for the most part, if they do see you, they're just gonna slither away.
Absolutely. Probably a good idea to learn the venomous varieties so that you know to avoid them, but if you stay away from them, they will stay away from you. Another pro tip is to keep your landscaping really tidy. It just gives them less of a place to hide. A couple weeks ago, we had one slithering across our driveway.
Yeah, but it was a harmless black racer variety, and I'd say that's all we've ever seen in our property. Number 6 on our cons list is that Sarasota does have somewhat of a limited nightlife compared to the bigger cities.
It can. Downtown Sarasota has a lot of options, and I consider myself young, and I think we have a good time when we go down there and date night. But if you're used to a bigger city, crazy nightlife scene, not so much to be found here in Sarasota.
Starts to get pretty quiet after 10 p.m. Yeah. So we finally reached the last con on our list. Coming in at number 7 is the cost of living. Now, Sarasota's cost of living, depending on which study you look at, can be a few percentage points higher than the national average. So really depending on where you're coming from, there is a chance that it might cost you a little bit more to live here. But I always say you get what you pay for.
Absolutely. I think a big portion of the cost of living is just the cost of housing in Sarasota. Yeah, some people will come down and say, gosh, your housing prices are really high. We've gone through some periods of really low housing inventory, which has pushed our pricing up. But right now, there's still a lot of options for buyers.
Yeah, and then the other reality to consider is that we are a coastal strip of real estate, so you're paying to be close to the water, which obviously makes the land cost more than being landlocked in the middle somewhere. And then the other thing to keep in mind is that Florida has the strictest building standards in the country. So homes here are built out of concrete block exterior walls, whereas a lot of other places in the country are simply framed out with 2x4s. So yes, it costs more to build that method, but much sturdier, stronger, durable homes, and the benefits are tremendous. So there you have it, our list of things people love and not love so much about living here in Sarasota.
Yeah, so if you think you can put up with those not so fun things to enjoy all the amazing things, make sure you check out our video with our map tour. It explains where all of this is laid out and how to find all the fun activities.
Yeah, and if you're thinking about moving here, reach out. We'd love to help. We'll see you later.